Good morning, garden lovers. Thanks again for joining us. Well, firstly, thanks very much for the new subscribers. I mean, it's just brilliant. And forever was the 100th one. Absolutely made my day. So what we're doing today, right, we're going to hopefully make a living willow arch for the entrance to the garden. What I've done, I've just temporarily put up some posts and marked out where my gate's going to be. And then I put down some cardboard and some membrane. I put some straw in the middle just to give me somewhere nice to walk on so I'm not in the mud all the time. So that's what I've done. Put in some temporary posts, some temporary upright to where the gate's going to be, put down some cardboard, put down some membrane, and now I'm going to mark out for the willow and then start putting them in. So I'll come back when I've done that, because the showers here are heavy when they come, so it's going to be a bit bitty, I'm afraid. Right, so what I've done, pulled out a string line and started to put the willow in. I've spaced them at 20 centimeters. Now, I'll stick a link in the description to the video that I saw that inspired me to do this. But funnily enough, he was doing it on a lovely sunny day with the ground was quite nice and he was having a wonderful time. He wasn't doing it in heavy showers in February. But there we go. That's what we've done. Drawn out a string line. Put the willow in every 20 centimeters. And then in a minute, I'll brace the tops with some willow weaving in between. If I can figure out how to do it, it'll be fine. Just before I put them in, I just lopped off about an inch from the bottom. They've been sat in a bucket since I've got them, so they've soaked up the water, and then hopefully taking an inch off the bottom will sort them out. I've been banging in a steel bar about a foot deep, and that should give them enough stability in the ground, and hopefully they'll all root. Do you want to see me doing that? Of course you do. Of course you do. Right, I'll stick it on a tripod and I'll bang a post in the ground. Right, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing now. Marking out 20 centimeters. Cutting a hole. And just banging in steel bar about a foot down. Simple as that. Oh, that's wet. That is wet. Right, next. Just lopping off on a bit of an angle, a bit at the bottom, nice and green. This is lovely willow, I must admit. Well, not that I know a lot about willow, but it looks nice. Sticking it in there, and that's that. So 6 each side. That works out with the distance for weaving the intermediates, which I don't know if I'll have time to do that today, but I'll keep you updated as I do them. So I've got one more to do, and then we'll move on to the next stage. Right, so now what I'm trying to do is weave this horizontal two in a way to hold these upright. Now I've started over there, and the video I've linked to in the description we'll show you how to do that, because it was a bit fiddly because of this post. But the gist of it is, you're trying to get this as upright as possible. So you hold that upright. You've got the two pieces of willow that you're using for your cross members in front, and you take what is the bottom one from there and flip it behind that one, and you pull it upright, give it a squeeze, and there again, the top one this time goes over the bottom one. And what happens is the crossover links, holds these in an upright position, and because of the flex in the willow, you can move it left and right. Then you get to the end, just about got enough here, I think. Crossover, no, that's wrong. That one goes that way. That's it. Yeah, this bit's a little bit too small, but I'll squeeze up tight. Have a bit of rope. And just tie it off. Wrap it around a few times. This little bit of willow is probably not big enough, but it's what I've got. So improvise, adapt and overcome. And I'll just tie that off, and I'll show you what it looks like from the side, and then we'll go on to doing the pretty bits in between these. Right, so that's tied that off. And like I said, you can move this across a bit to keep these upright, and I'll show you from the side that they're upright and spaced out. Right, so once you've got all your horizontal bits in and tied off, you can move it around so that they're all upright, just like that. And hopefully they should be in line with one another. Now, unfortunately, you know what it's like, you watch something on the internet, you think, oh yeah, that looks easy. But I seriously underestimated the size of the willow I need to make the arch. So this is going to have to grow a bit before I can make the arch. So for the time being, this is just going to be a willow entrance, just a fence either side. So I'll crack on now and see if I can do the pretty bits that link all this together. Right, see you in a bit. Right, so after a bit of fancy weaving, you end up with something that looks a bit like that. The post is in there just to brace it a little bit. Sort of gothic-y, I think. So that's what we end up with. And I'll show you quickly how we do that. So what I've done, in between the uprights, I've put down another hole, just eyeing it up in between, and barred that about a foot deep. And then I've cut some willow here that's, I don't know, about 6 foot. And now I'll stick it on the tripod and show you how to weave it in. But I'll stick the link to the video I watched in the description, because you know, he's an expert at it and he'll show you way better than me, but I'll give you the gist of it anyway. So I'll stick it on a tripod and off we go. Right, so hopefully you can see what we do. Let's take our bit of willow, starting on the outside of the first one, go behind the second one, in front of the third one, and then stick it right down in that hole. And in a minute, we'll come through with some rope and square it all up and make it look pretty. So we do the same again, in front of the second one, behind the third one, in front of the fourth one, and right down in the hole. Same again, in front of the third one, behind the fourth one, in front of the fifth one, and right down through the hole. And now ideally, we'll get a bit of rope and we'll just tie these here temporarily. So I'll go and do that in a minute. These moved across, that's better. So that's the first three in, and I'll show you how to do the end, because that's the awkward bit. Right, so once you've done those three, there's no hole to the right of this one, so we've got to do something a bit fancy in a minute. But before that, we go back the other way. So we start on the outside of this one, inside of that one, outside of that one, and just tie it off. Just tie it in a way that you can undo it easily, because we'll have to adjust them all in a minute. So that's that one. There again, the second one on the outside, inside, outside, and into that one. Push it right in. Kink that willow. There we go. Tie it off. A little bit of string. And then the last one going this way again, outside of the third one. So we're outside, inside, outside, and down into the hole. And then tie off there. Run out string here. Right, so that's the 3 one way and 3 the other way. This is 1 metre long every 20 centimetres, and then obviously 20 centimetres in between the main uprights. All right, so I'll finish tying these off, then we'll do the fiddly bits at the end. Hey, hope you can hear me, it's so windy. Right, hopefully you can see, this is the more fiddly bit now. To continue on the pattern, you go in front of the third one, behind the second one. No, you don't. Yes, you do. And then this willow's not as flexible as the other stuff. I'm running short now. Give it a rub, and that helps massage it. And then you wrap it around the outside one. And stick it down in the hole. And in a minute, when we mess with everything, or not mess with it, but tie it up and get it looking something like it, it'll work out. Now we've got one left to do. Oh, this willow's getting stiff now. The trouble is, I bought some off Marketplace, and then I needed some longer. I got that off Amazon. Right, so now what are we on? The second one. Goes around a lot higher. You've got to be careful you don't actually snap the willow, otherwise the juice, the sap won't flow. I'm making a pig's ear of this, aren't I? And then that one goes around, and then please don't break, please don't break, please don't break. Yeah, down in that hole. There you go. They're lovely. And then, like I say, we've got to just mess with all of these in a minute. and make it all look pretty. It'll be fine. What I found the easiest was to start down here, get a measuring stick, how far up you want the cross, then work this up and tie there. Tie that one, work your way across, then release these, let them go, and work your way up. That's the way I found it easiest. But like I say, the the video I'll link to, it'll show you. Right, let's crack on and tie all these up. Right, with the sun setting, it's been a lovely afternoon, well, lovely evening tonight. Sun setting over the stables, a dry day. Eventually, with a bit of faffing and moving your knots around and just playing with it, you'll end up with something that looks like that. A bit of a Gothic arch thing going on. This one, I've still got some more messing around with to get it looking nice and even. And then these temporary ties come off, and I'll use some tying cord, which is slightly flexible. That'll hold them fairly tight together. And in theory, they should pressure graft together to maintain that shape. And then they'll just need, that's bloody ums. They just need, what's the word I'm looking for? I'll just put a bit of wood just in line to try and maintain the straightness for a minute or two, because it's so windy up here. I'll do that either side. There's a piece there I'll put back up. And then eventually, hopefully they'll grow up over and I can join them together and we'll have a lovely arch. All right. So there we go. My Gothic willow arch fence thing. So I'll tell you what, if you see something you want to do, just give it a go. It doesn't matter if you get it wrong or it doesn't look as good as Matey Boy's in the video. It's cool, isn't it? Hey, look at that. I love it. And hopefully when it all grows, it'll be a wonderful thing. And remember, a beautiful thing is a joy forever. Right, just pan you out to the sea. Oh, the horse box in the way. But anyway, I can't quite see the sea because the horse box is in the way. But there's the horses grazing away, just about to come in. Been a good day. Cheers and gone.